Oh.
Yeah, I didn't bring mine either. Oops, my glasses disappeared.
So the yellow sheets is one poem, and the pink sheets is another poem, and the white sheets are in between, so that we're all included. So whoever has a white sheet, only Pat. Pat, you read yours.
All right.
On Carl, okay. Pat first.
All right. Death leaves a heartache no one can heal. Love leaves a memory no one can steal. Irish proverb.
So let's read. Okay, which one did I say we do first? Okay, we're going to do the yellow poem first. So there's a number at the top left-hand corner. And so who has yellow number 1?
I do.
Okay. William?
You want me to read this?
Yes? Well, I can't read it from here.
By Judy Burnett.
Yes.
I heard your voice in the wind today, and I turned to see your face. The warmth of the wind caresses me, and I stood silently in place.
Number
Number
2.
2. I felt your touch in the sun today as its warmth filled the sky. I closed my eyes for your embrace, and my spirit soared high.
Number 3.
I saw your eyes in the window pane, and as I watched the falling rain, it seemed as each raindrop fell, it quietly said your name.
Number 4.
Yep. I held you close to my heart today. It made me feel complete. You may have died, but you were not gone. You will always be part of me.
As long as the sun shines, the wind blows, the rain falls, you will live on inside of us forever, for that is all our heart knows. So, Carl, you want to read your white one?
The journey does not end here. Death is just another path, one that we all must take. J.R.R. Tolkien.
Okay, so now the pink one. So pink number 1.
Life well lived, unknown. A life well lived is a precious gift of hope and strength and grace from someone who has made our world a brighter, better place.
Pink 2.
It's filled with moments sweet and sad, with smiles and sometimes tears, with friendships formed and good times shared, and laughter through the years.
Number 3.
A life well lived is a legacy of joy and pride and pleasure. A living, lasting memory our grateful hearts will always treasure.
All right. So, I just want to tell you about the urn. Hold on here. Get my papers organized. Where is it?
Over
Like
here.
that.
Oh, Michael has it.
So this is our family urn. And
Want some help? Or awkward?
really heavy. So because Leonard wanted his ashes spread up here, I thought we could use the family urn. In Canada, you can spread ashes anywhere, but if you want to bury it, it has to be in a cemetery. So my mother-in-law was in there first, Marion, then John is in there, and now Leonard. And as you can see on the walls, there's more space for the rest of the family.
Oh, you say he lost a bunch of weight.
No,
I heard that story.
that's
He's
pretty
heavy
heavy.
now.
Yeah, he was down to 157.
Well, even when he was young, Leonard was on the little bit of the heavier side, but he carried it well.
Yeah, he was healthy looking.
He was
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
spinner. My dad carried all his weight.
Victor, right?
Yeah.
I got to know Victor a little
Two
bit.
hands.
We went in business.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
Victor
So did I.
financed
Oh, I know.
Leonard's band, you know.
I knew Victor.
Oh,
as
do you
well.
wanna-
And his wife.
Yes.
Yeah.
What was her name?
Let's turn it
Yeah,
around.
Victor adores.
John's on the other
In
side.
fact,
And,
that's the only time I met John. Woodron was at
It's very heavy.
Victor's house,
I'll believe you.
way back. I forget
There
it
was a
something.
party there.
It was a party for
There
something.
was a party in that house a lot.
Victor's 50th or Victor's 60th, something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I remember Victor was visiting Leonard in Brockville, and Leonard was giving him, I think it was scotch. Was that his drink?
Yeah,
Victor's
Mm-hmm.
drink?
Yeah.
Anyway, I guess this is what they do in the Navy.
Yeah.
They, when they're out of the drink, they
Yeah.
put the glass on top of your head. So Victor was sitting there on the couch like this, and Leonard would run in and get him a drink in the kitchen.
3 fingers.
Is that so? That's a Navy.
Was that the Navy salute?
Well, you got in
Don't
trouble
start
when
at
you
the
got a
bottom
one
of the
finger.
glass, that's fine. Yeah, gotta allow for that, eh?
Yeah.
And the British, they didn't like the 2-finger salute either, so had to be 3.
Is that a tie wrap they've got on there? You're not gonna. Yeah, you're
I
not gonna
forgot
get
to bring
That's how
a knife.
I'd give up
Ah.
scouts.
Maybe, yeah, if you twist it enough, I hold this in. There we go.
Okay,
Yeah, I
so-
just didn't want to
You
disturb
want
him.
to save that.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
You should have been pretty good at that. You were on the football team.
Oh, I was on the football.
What
team.
position did you?
Anything but
You can only have
schoolwork.
4
What
out
did
of the
you
year.
play
You
on the
wanna
football
start?
team?
Okay,
Oh.
everybody's gonna take
Whatever
turns.
they
Yeah.
put me.
Yeah,
Okay.
on defense, offense, what?
That's why I started that little hole.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yes, I see that.
lads and ladies,
And who would have been some of the people on that team?
Tom Dempsey.
Tom Dempsey was on that. He was quite a picture, that guy. I remember watching
He
him.
wanted to be back.
He was a quarterback, wasn't he?
He wanted to be
So, who's next?
Who's next?
He played some.
Okay.
You have to bury,
Who did?
Mike,
you have to bury.
you've known Leonard almost the longest, so
Yep.
so just pour. No, I wouldn't touch it. I just pour it out of the bag.
So,
Where do I go?
There's a hole there. Gordon. You're the first person to made eye contact, so you're it.
Does anybody want bug spray?
No, he was.
I'm fine. They're not bad.
Okay.
Usually a field like this would be filled with horseflies.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, it's so dry. And no mosquitoes.
How do you guys was late and they don't take it?
Even yesterday in the woods and on our road in the woods, mosquitoes in the morning before the dawn, 10 degrees. They weren't biting. By 11 o'clock they were gone completely. I worked till about 4 o'clock in the
You
afternoon.
to hold the phone for you? Or you?
And no horseflies or deerflies.
I don't necessarily want to turn.
No, they're gone. They're gone. We had some. We had a little fever earlier, and that killed them off.
Right.
Good when I can't get over. I'll be after 2 days.
looks like he's just trying to escape on you.
I know that's a job.
There we go.
Yeah, me too. With my mom. Right. Yeah, it's never easy, even when things are well planned.
Yeah, my dad was really careful. as much as he's getting.
Here's a phone for you.
Oh, he did.
You wanna go last? I'm asking if you wanna go last.
I got some.
Pat?
I prefer it first.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's a good idea. Send it to
Sue
Sylvia.
and Melinda.
Thank you.
Did you have bunk beds?
Yes,
Now,
we did.
I didn't forget anyone, did I? 'Cause I'd feel like a jerk if I did.
Yeah, no, we had bunk beds for sister stuff.
This was on Valley Drive?
No, originally Smythe Road.
Oh, you live on Smythe? Where on Smythe? What was the number?
You can dump the rest.
879.
Oh, I know where that is. The
block away.
townhouse is just up before it
A
goes up
block
the hill.
away from my wife.
Yeah.
My cousin had-
Leonard showed me that house.
Yeah.
Leonard showed me that house that's where he said he grew up. And then your
with the
Victor,
yellow paint job.
and they moved to Valley Drive.
There
Yes,
you go.
I lived at 713,
Okay.
just between Cincinnati and
Okay.
Hillcrest High School on the side of Cincinnati, between Edgewood and Gloucester.
Well, that's,
I grew up at 805. Nice.
805 Smythe, okay, you're pretty close.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know where there's a duplex, and it's, as you head up the hill a little bit towards Cecil Kavanaugh's Texaco
Yeah.
station, used to be there.
Yeah.
You were on the left-hand side, he showed me the house. On
And,
one
um,
occasion.
Steve, did you, when did you move into the place on Valley Drive?
Belil,
I
before it
think
became Cecil
it's when he
Kavanaugh's
was going
garage.
into grade 12.
My dad used to get his car repaired there.
Well,
That late?
yeah, yeah,
Oh, I thought you guys,
yeah.
had moved there early,
Wingate,
you know?
No.
Okay,
no.
yeah,
I think
know those roads.
You can check with Steve, but
Yeah.
that's, I think.
Take on some water.
no, we,
Would you like a drink?
my
It's just water.
dad's,
That's a colored water.
Oh.
There's no alcohol in these.
Thanks.
I got some in the
Yeah.
car.
Which school did you go to first?
Like a drink?
Oh,
Water.
oh, thank you so much.
Oh, yeah. I put too much sign in on redoing this. This hand's not bad.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's nice.
He's got stuff in the car,
Thank you.
so I assume it's a bottle of vodka or something.
No, I think I was grade 6.
Yeah, this is quite a piece of property you have, William, you used to have,
Yeah.
really
How many
nice.
acres was it, good?
65,
farm?
wasn't it?
65.
A nice big field.
3 different schools in Victoria.
So what grade did you go to?
So-
I got stuck in the mud all over this field.
You did, in the spring?
Grade 7 and 8.
Yeah.
That was it.
7,
Yeah, I
then
moved
I
here.
had to go to Ridgewood.
You guys used to roam around here as kids, or?
Oh, until we got out of here.
When did you go? 1962?
As if they
50
came
year
back
was
here.
2012.
Oh, William has a story coming back here.
I have no story.
Well, I'll tell you a story of
I'm not sure which.
when Leonard and I were like 17, 16 years old. We went to Expo, and we didn't plan the trip very well because we didn't know where we were going to stay in a particular night, you know, after we were there. And there was 4 of us, you know, all 16. And right at the end of the night, Leonard meets a garbage man. Like, they kick you out after 12 o'clock. So it was 12 o'clock, we're thinking we're going to sleep on park benches maybe. And Leonard gets to know this garbage man. His name was Richie. And Richie invites 4 teenagers back to his place. So we all pile in his car. We go back to Richie's place. And it's in the worst section of Montreal you can imagine. and he lives up this rickety staircase on maybe the 3rd floor in a one building. And we get there, and we think he's gonna kill us. You know, maybe rape us too, you know, and we get there, and we go in, and his wife is there. Her name is Violet. And she's saying, "What are you doing, Richie? Bringing back these 4 guys. They're going to rape me. They're going to murder you." And we're thinking they're going to kill us. They're thinking we're going to kill them. I mean, it was like, and then Leonard broke the ice a little bit. He got to know Violet, started talking to her. She started asking him questions. We were starving hungry, and they went and they got out this old roast beef that they had. It was cold, and some cheese, and we sat around the table and we talked, and we got to know each other a little bit. And Leonard will never ever forget Richard and Violet, because I remember I mentioned it to him, and he's the one that remembered their names, and he said to me, "I'll never forget that." And they drove us back to Expo for the next day. And I mean, we didn't even have the common decency to get their address and send them
Well, you're
something.
16.
Yeah, we were 16.
Where'd you sleep, on the couch?
Yeah,
on
I
the floor?
slept on the couch, and Leonard
Slept in the bathtub.
called Violet
You slept in the bathtub.
To get
a
away from
woman
the
wrestler.
snoring, yeah.
That's how he referred
Oh,
to
you're
her.
a terrible snorer.
And I slept on the couch. Leonard slept on the floor, and Leonard told me that he stayed awake half the night because he was expecting someone to come out with a knife and murder us. And nobody did, of course. And they cooked us breakfast in the morning. I remember we went down and they had this old pot-belly type of stove that my grandmother had in her place, where you put wood in it and then you cook right on top of the stove. And there was this old shed in the back of the property that was falling down, and Leonard and I went there the next morning, picked up a bunch of boards, and we brought them up so they could start a fire, and they cooked us bacon and eggs.
Wow.
It was the greatest breakfast I've ever had.
Yeah, nice. You were
You should check on Facebook. Maybe they're still on.
They'd be like Richie, like when I was 16, 17, he'd be like probably 60. So they'd be long dead.
Oh,
Yeah.
just kind people.
old codger.
Yeah, Leonard told me that it was the people that it could afford to give you the least that gave you the most. That's what he said.
Yeah. I think you have something for us to do here again.
Yes.
Are these all the same?
Okay. So, this little poem, I thought we could all read it together.